Welcome to listen to Rabbit Planet Doze. We relax and we get sleepy. Thank you for listening. In a certain part of the forest, a group of animals held a joyous party. Laughter filled the air, worries were absent, and happiness reigned. Meanwhile, an ancient book contained the secrets of time, a mysterious force that seeped into dreams. Let's settle down, relax, prepare for our adventure. Let your body adapt to the comfort of the bed. Feel the tranquility of the surrounding space. Enjoy the tranquility of the night, no matter what happens today. Whether it is busy or fulfilling, forget it now. Slowly relax the body. The only intention at this moment should be to enjoy your comfort. The bed can relax your body, relax your mood. Whenever you fall asleep, you can fall asleep however you want. As Alice wandered through the garden, each step landing on soft moss, she felt as though she had stepped into another world. Her gaze was drawn to lanterns hanging from the branches like dewdrops, their warm glow illuminating the path ahead. These lanterns seemed to be meant just for her, guiding her toward the mysterious source of music. As the music grew louder, Alice found herself in a star-studded meadow. In the center stood a stage formed by fireflies, their light pulsating with the rhythm of the music, adding an enchanting touch to the secret party. The animals were in full swing, graceful in their dance moves, each with their own story. A hedgehog in a gentleman's suit shared tales of adventure with a group of squirrels, while a deer adorned with a flower crown laughed and chatted with a flock of birds. Every corner was filled with joy and laughter. It was a place free from worries, a realm of pure happiness. Drawn by the harmonious atmosphere, Alice sat on a large rock, listening to the animals' conversations. She savored the unprecedented tranquility, her eyes shining with curiosity. She knew this night would become an unforgettable memory. Suddenly, a silver-feathered owl descended from the sky, landing gently on Alice's shoulder. Its eyes held both depth and wisdom as it spoke in a soft voice. "Welcome to our party, little girl. Here, you will learn much about life and nature." Surprised and excited, Alice asked the owl, "How can I understand your language?" The owl smiled and replied, "In this magical space, all living beings communicate. Your purity and kindness allow you to hear the voices of nature." With the owl's words, a warm energy enveloped Alice. Her soul connected to the natural world in a profound way. She realized that this night was more than just a party, it was a baptism of the soul. Following the enchanting melody, Alice stepped into an open space illuminated by moonlight. Here, trees formed a natural amphitheater, each adorned with glowing fruits resembling the brightest stars in the night sky. The air carried a blend of floral and resinous scents, creating an atmosphere both mysterious and comforting. She noticed a squirrel dressed in an emerald green suit, conducting a group of fireflies. They weaved intricate patterns in the air, synchronized with the music. Nearby, an owl wearing a purple shawl observed gracefully, occasionally nodding in approval of the squirrel's work. Captivated by this scene, Alice approached, and a hedgehog wearing a tiny top hat noticed her. Mr. Hedgehog greeted her with his small yet clear voice, "Good evening, miss. Welcome to our moonlight party. I am the band conductor here. You may call me Henry." Alice smiled and asked, "Mr. Henry, what kind of party is this?" With pride, Henry puffed out his chest and replied, "This is the most special night in the forest. Tonight, the moon is exceptionally round, so we gather here to celebrate with music and dance." Just then, a ballet-skirted mouse pirouetted over, curious about the new arrival. She introduced herself, "I'm Rosie, the dancer here. You don't look like a forest resident. Where are you from?" Alice humbly answered, "I got lost and followed the music here." Rosie laughed, "Well, you're lucky. Tonight, you'll witness a marvelous party. Come, dance with me." With Rosie's invitation, Alice swayed to the music. Surprisingly, she kept up with the animals' rhythm, her heart filled with joy and freedom. On this night, she forgot all worries, fully immersed in this mysterious and delightful world. The party continued throughout the night. Alice conversed with each animal, hearing their stories, learning their wisdom, and sharing their joy. As the first light peeked through the treetops, the party gradually wound down. Alice knew this would forever be a cherished memory in her heart. Alice danced along with the music, her heart growing lighter and happier. On this mysterious night, she was no longer a lost little girl, she had become a part of this fantastical world. She encountered a peacock with golden feathers, its tail unfurled like a vibrant painting. The peacock told Alice that each feather held a story, and its song was a way to convey these tales to other animals. Alice also met a wise crow perched on a withered branch, its gaze deep and knowing. The crow informed her that every tree and stream in the forest had its own soul. They communicated with the animals, sharing wisdom and knowledge. Throughout the night, Alice learned many secrets about nature. She listened to the animals' stories, discovered that tree rings recorded history, flower scents could heal the soul, and starlight was the universe's language. Finally, she sat on a large rock, chatting with an elderly turtle. The turtle revealed that time at this mystical party was elastic, seconds could stretch into years, and minutes could span centuries. Surprised, Alice asked, "Can I stay here forever?" The turtle smiled and replied, "As long as your heart remains pure, you can return to this magical world whenever you wish." Alice felt immeasurable happiness. She knew this night would become the most cherished memory of her life. Under the moonlight, she shared wisdom, songs, and laughter with the animals, becoming an integral part of this mysterious gathering. In a corner of the moonlight party, Alice discovered a small stall adorned with an array of magical food and drinks. The stall was run by a panda wearing an apron whose culinary skills were extraordinary. With ordinary ingredients, this panda could transform them into incredible enchanted delicacies. Curious, Alice approached, and the panda welcomed her with a smile. "Welcome to my little stall," said Pat. "Here, each item of food possesses unique magic, granting special abilities to those who taste them." Pat introduced his specialty menu to Alice. 1. Dreamberry pie. This pie appeared ordinary, but with each bite, one would enter a sweet dream, dancing alongside the forest animals. 2. Invisibility mints. These mints temporarily render you invisible, allowing you to explore secret corners of the forest without being noticed. 3. Memory honey, harvested from the oldest beehive in the forest. This honey invokes your most cherished memories. 4. Courage chocolate. This chocolate fortifies your spirit, making you fearless even in the face of adversity. Alice chose a slice of dreamberry pie and some invisibility mints. As she tasted the pie, she felt herself transported into a dream filled with laughter and dance, joining the animals she had met at the party. Next, she tried the invisibility mints and found herself truly invisible. She moved quietly through the party, observing the interactions among the animals, listening to their conversations. This experience deepened her understanding of this mysterious world. When the invisibility effect wore off, Alice returned to Pat's stall, thanking him for such a wondrous experience. Pat chuckled, saying, "This is the smallest magic we can conjure. In this forest, more miracles await your discovery." Alice's heart swelled with gratitude and wonder. She knew that these magical foods and drinks were not merely for taste, they were gifts of enchantment, allowing her to explore this mystical realm more profoundly. Amidst the lively atmosphere of the moonlight party, Alice felt enveloped by a warm sense of friendship. The animals not only shared their food and dances but also revealed glimpses of their inner worlds. In a quiet corner surrounded by silvery willow trees, Alice encountered an old fox. The fox's eyes sparkled with wisdom as it invited her to sit down and shared an ancient forest legend. Long, long ago, the fox began, this forest served as a sanctuary for all creatures. Animals coexisted here peacefully, helping one another and safeguarding this land. But most importantly, it was our friendships that bound us. The fox explained to Alice that every guest who attended the party formed a deep bond with a forest animal. This friendship was a covenant, an eternal promise to respect and protect each other. Enthralled, Alice asked, "How can I forge such a friendship with this forest?" The fox smiled and replied, "As long as you're willing, you can form a pact with any of us. But remember, it's a commitment that requires heartfelt guardianship." Just then, a gentle deer approached, its eyes filled with kindness. The deer gently touched noses with Alice, a traditional gesture of friendship in the forest. Alice felt a warm energy flow through her entire being. She knew this was the power of friendship. She made a pact with the deer, promising to forever safeguard this forest and its inhabitants. From that day on, Alice became a part of the forest. Her heart remained intricately connected to the land and all its creatures. Whenever the full moon graced the sky, she returned to share beautiful moments with her newfound friends. On the final night of the moonlight party, Alice stood beneath an ancient oak tree, her heart filled with gratitude and reluctance. The animals formed a circle around her, bidding farewell, promising everlasting friendship. The fox approached Alice, saying softly, "Little one, you have become a part of this forest. Our friendship extends beyond this night, it is eternal." The deer stepped to her other side, lowering its head to gently touch Alice's hand with its antlers. Its eyes held wisdom and warmth, as if conveying, "Wherever you go, our spirits will remain connected." Alice took a deep breath, knowing that this night would forever be treasured in her memories. She made an eternal pact with the animals, vowing to protect the forest and safeguard their friendship. From that day forward, Alice became intertwined with the land and all its creatures. Every full moon, she returned to share beautiful moments with her newfound friends. This was a timeless covenant, a promise spanning time and space. Alice realized she was no longer a lost little girl, she had become the forest's guardian, her heart forever linked to the land and its inhabitants. On a starry night, Emily sat in her quiet study, drawn to an ancient book. Its cover bore peculiar symbols, seemingly whispering to her. She gently turned the pages, and a warm glow emanated from within, illuminating the entire room. The book contained a tale of time travel, a brave traveler weaving through different eras, seeking lost time keys. Emily's heartbeat quickened. She felt an inexplicable connection to this fellow adventurer. As she continued reading, the words blurred and her surroundings twisted. Suddenly, she found herself standing in an unfamiliar place, a vast expanse beneath a star-studded sky. Before her stood an ancient clock, motionless. Its hands no longer moved, and the air hung heavy with silence. Emily realized this wasn't merely a dream, it was a genuine invitation to become a time traveler. She took a deep breath, ready to embark on the adventure of finding the lost gear and reawakening the clock. At this dream's inception, Emily felt both excitement and nervousness. She didn't know where this journey would lead or what she'd encounter. But she was certain it would be the most extraordinary and unforgettable experience of her life. Emily stood before the ancient clock, her gaze drawn to the missing piece on its face. The heart of the clock, a delicate golden gear, was gone. Without it, the clock remained frozen, time suspended like a breath held too long. She surveyed her surroundings, a forgotten square, overgrown with grass and wildflowers, shadows stretching long in the moonlight. A chill ran down Emily's spine, but she knew she had to retrieve that gear. Just then, a cat approached her, its eyes gleaming with wisdom in the darkness. "Emily," it whispered, "you've arrived. Time needs you, and you need time. The gear isn't far, follow me." The cat led Emily across the square and into a narrow alley. At the end of the alley stood a half-open door, hinting at infinite possibilities beyond. Emily took a deep breath and stepped over the threshold. Inside, she found a place steeped in magic. Clocks of all kinds adorned the walls, grand and small, ancient and modern, each ticking to its own rhythm. Emily knew her journey had only just begun. Her gaze flitted between the clocks, each one seemingly telling its own story. Yet her attention was soon captured by a unique timepiece. This clock stood out, its face adorned with sparkling gemstones, and its hands moving slowly but resolutely. Approaching it, Emily felt a powerful energy emanating from within. The cat spoke again, "This is the heart of time, connecting all clocks. Your missing gear lies here, but to retrieve it, you must prove your understanding of time." Emily listened, knowing this wouldn't be easy. She had to delve deep into the essence of time, find and restore that lost gear. She was ready for the challenge, aware that only then could she complete her mission and find her own path in this mysterious dream. Following the talking cat, Emily navigated the labyrinth of clocks and arrived at a serene library. Dust-covered shelves held countless books, each recording secrets of time. The cat paused, its profound eyes fixed on Emily, and said, "Within these books lie clues to find the missing gear. But beware, time flows, and its secrets won't reveal themselves easily." Emily approached the bookshelves, her fingers gliding over spines, sensing the historical weight of each volume. She pulled out an unassuming book, and as she opened it, an ancient map slipped from its pages. The map traced a path to the gear, but it was obscured by riddles and symbols. The cat whispered, "These puzzles and symbols are time's trials. You must attune yourself to its rhythm to uncover the true path." Emily nodded, aware that this challenge demanded wisdom and patience. She began reading the map's inscriptions, each word seemed alive, dancing before her eyes. As she read, the path became clearer, the enigmas fading to reveal a bright trail. Looking up at the cat, Emily found it had vanished. Standing in the library's center, she held the radiant map. With a deep breath, she stepped onto the luminous path, determination fueling her search for the gear. The path led her through the maze of bookshelves, each step accompanied by the resonance of time. She felt synchronized with the ages, every breath interwoven with past and future. Finally, Emily reached a chamber adorned with various timepieces. At its center lay a small wooden box. She approached, opened it, and discovered a gleaming golden gear inside. Cradling the gear, she sensed warmth flowing through her body. The cat's voice echoed once more, "Emily, you've proven yourself. The gear now belongs to you, but your journey isn't over." Emily clutched the gear tightly, knowing this was just the beginning. She must continue, seeking other lost gears to reanimate the clock and set time in motion. Prepared for the adventures ahead, she understood that each gear held the key to her dreams. Emily held the shimmering golden gear, feeling its warmth and energy. Her heart swelled with curiosity about the unknown and a thirst for adventure. The cat's words echoed in her mind, "Your journey is far from over." She knew this was just the first step in her quest for the key to time. Stepping out of the chamber, a beam of light filtered through the bookshelves, guiding her toward the next destination. Emily followed the light, winding through the library's labyrinth until she reached an ornate iron door. Intricate floral patterns adorned the door, as if inviting her into another realm. She pushed the iron door open, revealing a vibrant, secluded garden. Enclosed by towering walls, the garden teemed with life. Flowers of every hue bloomed, releasing fragrant scents. Butterflies and bees flitted among the blossoms, creating a harmonious scene. Emily took a deep breath of the fresh air, experiencing an unprecedented calm and joy. She strolled through the garden, each flower seemingly whispering a tale of time. Beneath an ancient oak tree, its trunk etched with a clock face pointing to midnight, she paused. A gentle breeze rustled the oak's leaves, and Emily heard a faint voice, "Seek the secrets of time, they lie within this garden." She scanned her surroundings, trying to locate the source, but no one was visible. Continuing her exploration, Emily arrived at a secluded corner. There, a small pond sparkled, its center hosting an enigmatic flower. Its petals radiated a luminous time essence, guiding Emily toward the next gear. She knew she had to find the path to the island. Along the pond's edge, she discovered a hidden trail, petals soft underfoot. Each step seemed to leave an imprint in the river of time. Finally, she reached the island. The peculiar flower gleamed even brighter in the moonlight. Emily extended her hand, gently touching a petal. Warm energy flowed into her, and a thought emerged: the secret of time resides within this flower's core. As she touched the petal, warmth enveloped her palm, resonating with her consciousness. She closed her eyes, focusing on the energy, attempting to decipher its meaning. When she opened her eyes again, she stood no longer in the garden. Instead, she faced a starlit path leading to a radiant portal. Emily recognized it as the gate of time, promising to transport her to unimaginable places. With determined steps, she approached the gate. As it swung open, a new world unfolded before her, a tapestry woven from time itself, where past, present, and future converged. Stepping through the portal, Emily found herself in an ancient city. Architectural styles spanning epochs surrounded her, from ancient Roman columns to medieval spires and modern skyscrapers. People donned attire from different eras, bustling about, seemingly unaware of Emily's presence. She wandered through the city, observing everything around her. Suddenly, her gaze fell upon a peculiar stall selling exotic curiosities. An elderly man in ancient garb sat behind the stall, his eyes twinkling with mischief. The old man beckoned Emily over. "I know what you seek, time traveler. You need more than gears, you need wisdom to understand time." From his pocket, he produced a delicate hourglass, its sand flowing steadily. "This hourglass will aid you in finding the next gear. But remember, time is precious, you must exchange it for your stories and experiences." Emily pondered for a moment, then began recounting her adventures. As she spoke, the sand in the hourglass accelerated until it finally stopped. The old man smiled, handing the hourglass to Emily. She accepted it gratefully, thanking the old man. As she left the stall, the hourglass glowed once more, guiding her toward the city's edge. There stood an ancient library, its doors seemingly closed for years. Emily pushed the heavy doors open and stepped inside. The library exuded the scent of old books, shelves laden with ancient tomes. Emily felt a powerful pull toward a weighty volume. Opening it, she discovered an intricate copper gear nestled within. Carefully retrieving the gear, the entire library trembled. Books fell from the shelves, and time seemed to freeze. Emily realized she had triggered a secret of time. As the tremors subsided, the library returned to stillness. Emily clutched the copper gear, sensing newfound strength flowing within her. She knew she was one step closer to completing her mission. Leaving the library, the hourglass glowed once more, directing her toward the outskirts of the city. There, an idyllic countryside awaited, a stark contrast to the urban bustle. As Emily embarked on her new journey, she felt the hourglass in her hand growing warmer. Leaving behind the city's hustle and bustle, she entered a tranquil countryside. The landscape here stood in stark contrast to the urban chaos, a place of serenity and peace. She walked along a winding path, flanked by swaying willows and wildflowers. At the path's end stood an ancient stone bridge, beneath which a clear stream flowed gently. Emily paused, listening to the water's soothing melody, feeling at one with nature. Continuing her journey, the hourglass guided her to a walled garden. Its gate remained tightly shut, adorned with intricate symbols. Emily sensed a pull from the hourglass and gently touched one of the symbols. The gate swung open. Inside the garden, an otherworldly scene unfolded. Rare and peculiar plants grew here, their colors and shapes unlike anything she'd seen. As Emily followed the garden's path, each plant seemed to sway in rhythm with time. Arriving at the garden's heart, she found a luminous pool. In its center stood a small island crowned by a massive silver tree. The tree's branches were lush, and every leaf acted as a mirror, reflecting the surrounding scenery. The silver tree captivated Emily, and she noticed a tiny drawer embedded in its trunk. Opening it, she discovered a delicate silver gear. Suddenly, the tree spoke, "Emily, you found the essence of time, but you must prove yourself worthy." Emily replied, "I respect time, I understand its value. I'm willing to exchange my stories and experiences for this gear." The tree seemed satisfied, its branches swaying gently as the gear slid into Emily's hand. Thanking the tree, she secured the gear. As she left the pool, she felt time's flow accelerating within her. She knew she was one step closer to completing her mission, yet she also realized that this task was far more complex than she'd imagined. Emily continued her journey, passing through the garden and returning to the city. Her heart brimmed with new questions, but her determination remained unwavering. She would persist in unraveling time's secrets until she could set the ancient clock in motion once more. The hourglass and silver gear in Emily's hands emitted a gentle glow, as if guiding her through the night. She crossed the city's borders and entered an untouched wilderness. Here, the land stretched wide, the sky soared high, and stars twinkled. Everything felt primal and mysterious. She walked along a moonlit path, ancient trees lining its sides, their branches swaying in the night breeze. Emily's heart brimmed with curiosity for the unknown and a passion for adventure. She knew she was about to face an entirely new challenge. As she continued, the path gradually blurred and eventually vanished into an open expanse. Here, a broad river flowed serenely, its waters emitting a faint blue glow, a river that seemed to tell stories of time. Emily stood at the riverbank, gazing at this mysterious stream, sensing that time flowed differently here than anywhere else. Walking along the riverbank, she observed reflections in the water. It wasn't just the stars and moon, it held images of history, ancient cities, prehistoric creatures, and glimpses of the future, all interwoven within the river's flow. Emily took a deep breath. She recognized this as the legendary River of Time, connecting all eras and worlds. Without hesitation, she stepped into the water. The chills surrounded her, yet it didn't feel cold. Instead, it embraced her like a comforting presence. She began her journey along the river, each step like a passage through time. As she progressed, the river's images grew clearer. She saw the pyramids of ancient Egypt, medieval castles, steam engines from the Industrial Revolution, and the bustling cities of today. These images weren't just memories of the past, they held glimpses of the future as well. Emily felt a deep connection between her soul and the River of Time. Each droplet seemed to carry a story, a piece of history. Her quest wasn't merely about finding gears, it was an exploration of time's essence. She continued until she reached the river's center. There, a massive whirlpool formed, its center radiating a brilliant light. Emily knew this was the elusive time key she sought. Taking a deep breath, she swam toward the vortex's center. As she approached, time seemed to slow, and the river's images spun, creating a tunnel of time. Emily passed through the tunnel, emerging into a bright space. Here, time appeared suspended. A golden gear floated in midair, its warm glow resembling a heartbeat of time. She reached out and gently touched the gear, a surge of powerful energy flowed into her. Once again, a voice whispered in her ear, "Emily, you found the time key. Now, return it to the ancient clock and let time flow once more." Emily nodded, her mission wasn't over. Clutching the time key, she prepared to return to the River of Time. She knew this was just part of her journey, more gears awaited discovery, more secrets of time to unveil. But she also knew she was closer to success. Back at the river, its gentle current carried her to the shore. Standing there, holding the time key, Emily felt gratitude and hope. She would continue her journey until all gears were found, until time's mysteries were fully revealed. Emily stood by the River of Time's edge, the time key in her hand. Her heart brimmed with anticipation for the future and reverence for the past. The water lapped gently against the shore, a melodic reminder of time's song. As she walked along the riverbank, contemplating her next steps, she noticed a whirlpool in the water. Its center shimmered with light. Emily approached. It was a gateway of light, guiding her into another dimension. With a deep breath and newfound courage, she stepped into the gateway. As she crossed the threshold, she found herself in an entirely new world. A vast grassland stretched before her, with 3 suns moving slowly across the sky. Here, time flowed even more languidly. Emily wandered the grassland, her spirit growing calm, worries and anxieties dissipating. She reached a lakeshore where crystal-clear water revealed fish swimming freely. Sitting by the lake, she observed the aquatic life. Suddenly, a water column rose from the lake, and within it spun a crystal sphere. Inside the sphere, a tiny golden gear sparkled. Emily knew this was the next time key she sought. She reached out, gently touching the crystal sphere. It began to glow, slowly drifting into her hand. As she grasped it, warmth and courage flooded her being. Standing up, Emily resumed her journey. Each time key was a crucial part of her quest, and she needed to find them all to complete her mission. Emily stood up and continued her journey. She knew that each time key was a crucial part of her quest, and she had to find them all to complete her mission. She crossed meadows, ventured through forests, and climbed over hills. Along the way, she encountered various creatures, some friendly, others dangerous. But she used wisdom and courage to overcome challenges. Her story spread throughout this world, becoming a legend. Finally, Emily arrived in a valley where an ancient temple stood. Before the temple's entrance lay a clock, its hands moving slowly as if calculating something. Inside the temple, she discovered a massive wheel of time. The wheel of time had many gaps, each requiring a time key to fill. Emily placed the keys she'd found into the gaps. With each key's insertion, the wheel began to spin, emitting a beautiful melody. When all the time keys were in place, the wheel of time blazed with brilliance, illuminating the entire temple. Emily felt a surge of powerful energy flowing from the wheel, spreading throughout the world. Emily stood before an ancient bridge, seemingly woven by time's weavers, each stone engraved with someone's memories. As she stepped onto the bridge, each stride evoked past recollections, as if the bridge were a portal to her history. As she walked slowly, the stones of the bridge began to glow, revealing pivotal moments of Emily's life. She saw her first steps, her first school performance, and the carefree laughter with friends. These memories, like old friends, warmed her heart. Yet, not all memories were sweet. The bridge also displayed Emily's failures and setbacks, the difficult moments that shaped her growth. She saw tears shed during challenges, the sorrow of losing loved ones, and her struggles to find direction amidst confusion. These memories moistened her eyes but also solidified her resolve. Reaching the bridge's center, she found a special stone inscribed with memories yet to be experienced. This stone shone with the light of the future, indicating many significant moments awaited Emily. She knew these future memories would be part of her journey, and she must continue forward to realize them. Emily proceeded, the bridge unfolding beneath her feet, each stone a page of her life's story. She felt she was traversing not just space but time itself. Her past, present, and future intertwined on this bridge, creating a complete narrative. At the bridge's end lay a radiant gateway leading to a world she had never seen. Emily knew this was her next destination, her next adventure. She took a deep breath and stepped through the gateway. Passing through, she found herself in a space filled with light. There were no clear paths, only floating orbs, each representing a potential future. Emily touched an orb, and it unfolded, revealing a possible future. She had become a great scientist unraveling the secrets of time travel. Turning, she touched another orb, which showed a different future. She was an explorer, leading a team to discover unknown planets. Each orb offered Emily different choices, different paths, but she knew she ultimately had to make a decision. Emily wandered this space, contemplating her future. She knew that whichever path she chose, she would carry her memories and experiences with her. These memories would be her strength, helping her overcome challenges in her future journeys. Finally, Emily stood before an orb larger and brighter than the rest. She knew this was her orb of destiny, determining her future. She inhaled deeply and placed her hand on the orb. The orb began to spin, emitting a dazzling light, then slowly faded away. As the light dissipated, Emily found herself standing in a new world, a world filled with wonders and adventures waiting for her to explore. Emily stood at the entrance of a colossal maze, a construct of time's flow and spatial distortions, where each pathway represented different epochs and possibilities. Taking a deep breath, she stepped into the maze, ready to face this new challenge. Inside, the maze was a complex network with countless interlocking corridors, each presenting a different vista. Emily walked down a street from ancient Rome, passed through a medieval marketplace, and even glimpsed the neon glow of futuristic cities. As she delved deeper, time began to blur. Images of her past and future intertwined within the same scenes. Emily realized that the maze was not just a physical space, but also a symbol of time, each step a test of her will. She lost her way within the labyrinth, but did not give up. Relying on the time keys in her hand and her intuition, she searched for an exit. She encountered guardians of time, ancient and wise beings, who offered clues about the maze. Emily solved puzzle after puzzle, each solution altering the maze's structure, opening new passages while old ones vanished. She understood that the maze was alive, responding to her every decision. At the maze's heart, Emily found a well of time, not filled with water but brimming with the essence of time. The surface of the well was calm, yet Emily sensed powerful energies churning beneath. Approaching the well, she saw key moments of her life reflected on its surface. Her beginnings as a time traveler, her adventures, her loves, her triumphs, and her failures. All these moments defined her identity, her very existence. Emily touched the surface of the well of time, causing ripples to spread. Suddenly, a golden gear rose from the vortex, hovering before her. This gear shone intensely, the heart of the time maze, the key to controlling the entire labyrinth. She carefully removed the gear, and as it left the well of time, the maze began to shake. Walls crumbled, pathways reconfigured, and the whole maze seemed to be reconstructing itself. Emily knew she had to leave quickly. She ran along a newly formed corridor as the maze collapsed behind her. With all her might, she leaped out of the maze at the last moment, returning to the real world. Standing outside, she looked back at the once imposing structure, now reduced to rubble. Clutching the time keys and the golden gear, Emily felt a sense of accomplishment. She had conquered the time maze and found another crucial gear. She knew her journey was far from over, with more gears yet to be found. Her adventure would continue, traversing the time maze, exploring the depths of memory until all gears were gathered, and the secrets of time fully unveiled. Emily's footsteps glided through the labyrinth of time. She carried the key of time and a golden gear, arriving at a vast grassy field. The night sky here was resplendent, countless stars twinkling, the moon hanging high, casting soft silver light. In the center of this field, a grand ball was underway, inviting her to join. The attendees at the ball wore magnificent attire, representing different eras and cultures. There were soldiers in ancient Roman robes, nobles in Renaissance period finery, and gentlemen and ladies in modern evening wear. It was a celebration of time's flow, transcending ages. Emily was drawn to the scene. She stepped onto the dance floor, moving to the music. The orchestra played melodies from various epochs, ancient yet modern, infused with magic. With each beat, Emily felt her soul liberated, her body spinning freely to the rhythm. At the ball, she encountered intriguing characters. She danced with a medieval knight, listening to tales of ancient battles. She conversed with a scientist from the future, exploring the possibilities of time travel. And she exchanged thoughts with a poet from the distant East, learning about time and love through verses. As the night deepened, the ball grew livelier. Emily realized she wasn't just a participant, she was an observer, witnessing how time affected each person's life. Despite time's inexorable force, everyone had the power to create beautiful memories on their personal timelines. At the peak of the ball, Emily noticed a man dressed as an ancient astrologer. He stood at the edge, holding a peculiar instrument, seemingly observing the stars. Curious, Emily approached him. The astrologer smiled and explained that he sought a special star, one representing time's secret. If Emily helped him find it, he would reward her with a time key. Emily agreed. Together, they scanned the starry sky, searching for the enigmatic star. After much effort, they finally located it, a star brighter and more radiant than the others. The astrologer joyfully handed Emily a golden gear, the very time key she needed. Grateful, Emily accepted the astrologer's aid and secured the time key. As the ball concluded, she knew her journey wasn't over, more time keys awaited her. But now, she possessed newfound strength and allies. She left the ball, stepping into the unknown beneath the night sky. Her heart brimmed with anticipation for the future and reverence for time. She understood that by persisting forward, she would unlock all the time keys and unravel time's mysteries. Emily stood before an ancient clock, a timekeeper that had once guarded the flow of time. Now, it remained still, silent. In her hand, Emily held the collected time keys. She knew that only by returning these keys to the clock could time resume its course. She meticulously examined the clock. Its intricate mechanical structure demanded precise placement of each gear. Emily began her work, deftly positioning each gear with care. With every gear installed, the clock emitted a faint ticking, gradually growing clearer. A force gathered within its depths, an awakening power, the essence of time. As the final gear clicked into place, the clock resonated with a deep chime. Its sound pierced the night sky, echoing across the world. The clock's hands began their dance anew, marking the passage of time. Stepping back, Emily watched the clock she had reawakened. An unprecedented sense of accomplishment filled her. She knew she had fulfilled her mission. Time flowed once more, and the world regained its rhythm. Yet she realized this was merely the beginning. Time was boundless, its secrets unfathomable. Emily resolved to continue her journey, exploring more mysteries of time, embracing further adventures. Leaving the clock behind, she stepped onto a new path. Her heart brimmed with anticipation for the future and reverence for time. She understood that by persistently moving forward, she would uncover all the time keys and unlock time's mysteries. When Emily woke up, she found herself lying on a soft bed, sunlight streaming in through the window. Her heart felt calm, as if the adventures she had just experienced were merely a dream. However, when she turned her gaze to the bedside table, she saw the time keys lying there, proof that her journey had been real. She got up and walked to the window, pulling back the curtains. A beautiful scene unfolded before her, the small town bathed in morning light, everything harmonious and serene. Emily took a deep breath of fresh air, feeling her body and soul recharge. She reflected on her adventures, from the ancient clock to traversing the labyrinth of time, attending the celestial ball, and finally awakening the slumbering clock. Each moment was vivid, each decision making her stronger. Emily knew her journey had ended, but her life was just beginning. She had learned much from this experience, about the value of time, the meaning of life, and the power of love and hope. Deciding to record these stories, she began writing a book, a gift for everyone in the world. She hoped her tales would inspire others, reminding them that even in the darkest moments, there was always light waiting. Sitting at her desk, Emily's pen danced across the paper, capturing her adventures, discoveries, and insights. She wrote all day until nightfall, then rested. The next morning, Emily woke up to find her book completed. As she flipped through its pages, every word resonated with her reverence for time and her love for life. She carried the book out of her home, heading toward the publishing house. She knew this was just another beginning for her story, the continuation of her adventure, shared with every reader. Emily's tale became a bestseller, touching hearts and inspiring courage. She became a renowned author, her name and story echoing worldwide. Yet for Emily, fame and wealth weren't the most important. It was the impact she could have on others through her story. She continued writing, exploring, and learning. Each day, she created new memories, experienced fresh adventures. Emily's life brimmed with color and vitality, her soul with tranquility and joy. She understood that as long as she kept moving forward, time would forever be her friend.